my name is Susan Chung, and I have been attending Searchlight Fellowship since 2006, and I love this church. And I wanted to share one of the major things that's changed in my life because of church is experiencing God's grace through other people. And I know that might sound a little elusive, but basically, to give you a little background, I was born with a painful and incurable skin condition that I struggled with, I'm still struggling with even now. And I grew up in a different church where the church was more about works and about being good and appearing, okay, instead of really allowing me to talk, or to, be, I guess, struggle or be okay with struggling, and at that church, I definitely, it was hard for me to, how do you say it? It was hard for me to really feel God's love ever because a lot of people were, telling me like, yeah, God gave this disease to you for a reason, like He's going to have great rewards for you when, you get older. And I was like, and so by the time I got older, I was like, where are my rewards? I'm still in pain. And no one could explain anything to me ever. And so I remember feeling like, at one time that I had this disease, and so it was, so that made me closer to God, even though deep down I hated God and I was mad at Him for giving this disease to me. And so, so that caused me, even though I had a lot of friends growing up, like everyone at the church and everyone at school, like it wasn't hard for me to make friends, but I definitely always felt alone. And I felt like I could never talk about what was really going on inside. Like I could never share my pain or my struggle or, and I just tried to be as normal as possible so that, I wouldn't get pity looks or didn't want anyone to think I was, throwing a pity party for myself. And so that's how I grew up until, 2006. And I started I met this friend, and he basically, for 8 months, asked me, just became my friend and asked me to, go to Searchlight Fellowship. And I kept saying, like, no, I don't need it because I have my own church, so I don't need that church, so leave me alone. But, I finally went, and the funny thing is, like, in retrospect, I realized, like, that this friend, really, really cared about me enough to, fight through me and being defensive about going and all those things because he really cared. He really cared that he could see that I was in pain, but that I couldn't share it really, and so he really fought through that, defensiveness and all that so that I could, experience something perhaps that would be, really good for me or make me, feel really happy, or I could get some answers. And so I finally went, and it changed my life a lot because I noticed the leaders of that group at that time, or this fellowship that was in San Francisco at the time, the leaders at that, or the ambassadors, they're called ambassadors, one of them was sharing like about her life, and she's like totally a different, like she's from a totally different walk of life, you know what I mean? Like we do not look at all like we would be able to relate to each other, but she was really open about her insecurities, about her and the fears she had, and struggles that she had with family, and even with the relationship stuff, and just caring about people, and how she felt really cold-hearted before. And I was like, that's me. Like I've been that person that's like hated everybody. And she was just saying that she was also somebody that shut people out, and in fear of getting rejected or hurt. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. And I couldn't believe that someone that looked so different from me had experienced exactly the same thing that I had, and it wasn't like she had a disease, so that was the first time where I felt like, oh my gosh, like somebody understands like what I'm going through. And because she was able to express what she was going through and what the struggles she had, and so it made me feel comfortable that I could, share my feelings, and she put my feelings into words. So I just remember feeling so free and so lucky that finally somebody understood me. And then when I started meeting more people at Searchlight, it turned out everybody was like that. Like everybody's sharing about their insecurities and their fears and their struggles, and I'm like, seriously? Like no one is here pretending to be perfect. So that really made me feel like it was a safe place to be because, then I don't have to hide anything, and I don't have to hide my feelings and things like that. And especially because I think at my old church, people were always, so scared of feelings in some ways that they would really minimize, like, it helped me to minimize things too, so it wouldn't be so bad. But there's like certain things that people would say like don't feel that way, and I think this church is not like that at all. Like you're allowed to feel sad, and you're allowed to, express that you have fears, and that those so-called negative emotions are not so bad. They're actually things that have helped me become way. I mean, it sucks sometimes, like going through these things, like feeling sad and grieving and all those kind of things. Whether it comes to things that have happened in your childhood or relationships that you had with men or whatever. But definitely, all that not so pleasant stuff has helped me be. I mean, helped me like heal more. Because the people around me are able to fill that emptiness, with love, and I feel like that's what God's all about. So a lot of exciting things are happening now. I feel like, especially in the department. I mean, I've definitely like experienced way more healing in relationships, like in general, like even with family, and friends, and being able to communicate better and things like that. But it's especially shown up in my romantic relationships, because I have never had a healthy relationship ever in my life. I'm like really old right now. Okay, I don't look old, but kind of older than I look. And I've never, in this many years, have had a healthy relationship where I can be myself completely, and get that the guy's not going to run away. You know what I mean? And it's the same for the guy, for my boyfriend, who's also um, like feels like he can be himself, and so it's just really weird. I mean, in a good way, weird. Like it's like I've never experienced it before. So I'm very excited about the future. I'm excited about just getting to know more people, and also where this romantic relationship is going to take me. And so I really hope you will be able to join us one day and experience all this grace and all this healing, and feel God's love as well. So God bless.